All right. Good evening, everyone. Tonight we're going to be talking about from the book Living Spring, chapter 18. So I'm going to start with reading the text, if you help me. All right. So not only, man shall not live on bread alone. That was Jesus on Matthew 4:4. Not only a coat to protect the body, but also the shelter of the superior knowledge that strengthens the soul. Not only the elegance of the physiognomic mask, but the prettiness and the nobility of feelings as well. Not just eugenics to improve muscles, but also education to perfect manners. Not only surgery to remove the organic defect, but the personal effort to nullify the inner deficiency too. Oh, Angela. I'll wait for her to join. No, she's gone. All right, I'll keep going. Not only a comfortable home for physical life, but equally the invisible home of uplifting principles, where the spirit becomes useful, esteemed, and respected. Hi, Angela.
Hi. Try to organize the camera.
It's all right.
Thank you.
Not only honorable titles that illustrate the transient personality, but also the proven virtues in the objective struggle, which enrich the eternal consciousness. Not only brightness for mortal eyes, but also the divine light for the imperishable understanding. Not only a nice appearance, but living utility too. Not just flowers, but fruits as well. Not just continued education, but an active demonstration too. Not only an excellent theory, but also sanctifying practices. Not only us, but also the others. The Master said, man shall not live on bread alone. Let us apply the sublime concept to the immense field of the world. Good taste, harmony, and dignity in outer life constitute a duty, but let us not forget the purity, elevation, and the sublime resources of the inner life with which we go towards eternity. So that's the text from Chico and Emmanuel. So this chapter presents a profound meditation on the spiritual dimension of human existence, establishing that material provisions alone is insufficient for a complete and meaningful life. The passage from Matthew 4:4 serves as the foundation for Emmanuel's teachings about the multifaceted nature of true human fulfillment. So Jesus uttered those words during the wilderness temptation, where Satan challenged him to transform stones into bread, after 40 days of fasting. So it was threefold. So the temptation of pleasure or material temptation, material needs, the transformation of stone into bread, the pride and the showing off, and the power and domination. So that phrase emphasizes that while physical sustenance is necessary, spiritual nourishment is equally or perhaps more vital. This teaching aligns perfectly with Allan Kardec's doctrine of the immortality of the soul and spiritual evolution, which are fundamental pillars of the Spiritist philosophy. So Emmanuel described in the 12, I would say, dimensions or 12 parallels of the not only, where he presents his teachings through a series of the statements, the parallel statements, each representing a different aspect of the spirit or the human development. So this approach demonstrates that the principle applies universally across physical, intellectual, and emotional domains. So it talks about the material home that provides comfort and security for the physical body, but also the spirit requires the fortress of wisdom and spiritual understanding. So this reflects on the concept that souls or spirits are eternal beings who progress through life or through multiple lifetimes. And the physical comfort without intellectual spiritual development leaves the spirit unprepared for eternal journey. So we have to focus on both aspects, but the more important one, I would say, is the one that the spirit takes, because that's what we take with us when we live this life or this lesson. So superficial attractiveness is transient, but the cultivation of virtues and noble feelings creates everlasting values. So the Spiritist doctrine teaches that spirits are classified based on, not classified as, I would say classified, based on their moral and intellectual development. So the refinement of the spirit's moral character directly contributes to the spirit's elevation. We have the physical prowess and the bodily strength. There are temporary assets of this incarnation alone, while the cultivation of refined behavior and proper conduct shapes the eternal personality of the spirit. This connects with Kardec's teachings about cultivation of virtues, such as humility, patience, forgiveness, and charity as the essential for our spiritual journey or spiritual development. So he talks about the overcoming of flaws, which was perhaps one of the most profound verses in the chapter. While medical interventions addresses the physical problems that we have, the real transformation occurs through the spirit's effort to overcome our inherent flaws and our vices that we have accumulated through our previous lives. So this directly relates to the Spiritist concept of reincarnation as a means for spiritual progress, where we spirits reincarnate to learn and fix or rectify our past mistakes and fulfill our life plans, the plans that we intended to do before we incarnated on this life. So each incarnation offers us opportunity to correct some moral imperfections that we had accumulated over our last lifetimes. So beyond the physical dwelling or the physical body, the spirit constructs an eternal home through the principles, embraces, and the character that we develop. So after the physical death, we have the spirits inhabits realms corresponding to our level of moral development. So when the spirit enriched with virtue and wisdom will go to an elevated plane, while us that we are still burdened by some moral imperfections will reside in a lower zone, requiring further purification. So we have social status like degrees or honors. They all fade with the physical death, but the virtues proven through our life struggle or our life's experiences, they are imprinted in our soul or imprinted in our consciousness. So this teaching emphasizes that the true measure of spiritual advancement is moral progress, not external recognition. So Kardec's principle states that each spirit is rewarded to each one according to his work, as said in the text, meaning that eternal progression depends on moral and intellectual development achieved through its own efforts. So we each have to do our part, I would say, like our own efforts to overcome our difficulties and develop intellectually and morally at the same time. Anyone has any comments so far? So our physical vision or goal is limited to the material world. So everything that we hope to achieve physically, it matters only in this world. Or the spiritual illumination, the understanding of divine truths and universal laws, it enlightens the eternal faculty of consciousness. So we have the Spiritist doctrine emphasizing rational inquiry and personal experience as means of achieving this divine understanding. So the aesthetic or the looks, the appeal to having a better look or a perfect body, this without the substance or without the moral that comes with it, but the why you're doing that, it's meaningless. So true values comes from being genuinely useful to others. So especially charity with the people that need most. This principle connects to the emphasis on charity itself, most inclusive in the most inclusive sense of the word, practiced through thoughts, words, and actions. Luis?
With that last point, like true value comes from being genuinely usable.
Mm-hmm.
Can that take the form of like not necessarily things that you go out of your way to do? Like say like you're a mother and you're raising children, but you don't actually have like the necessary resources or like the capacity to be like extra charitable to others. Is just the fact that you're raising children still being genuinely useful?
Yeah,
Would that
for
come under
sure.
that?
Yeah. When I read that, like I think we discussed this previously. Every experience that we have that affects others, like something that it could be useful, especially the ones that we do focus on them. But yeah, everybody takes something from other people. So and especially if you are something planned or you are doing, for example, a charity, or even like you said, like a mother raising children, even though it's sort of I would say a duty, she's being useful in helping others achieve their goals, I would say. So it mentions flowers and fruits. So the flowers symbolize promise and beauty, also the external, and fruits represent the fulfillment or the amalgamation of our experiences, I would say. So, and the tangible results that we achieve. So in spiritual development, intentions and aspirations are meaningless without without the corresponding action. So if you have very good intentions, but you ended up causing more harm than good, that didn't help you much. So yeah, we have to have the actions, not only thinking about it, because I think, especially, I don't know you guys, but especially me, I always think a lot of things, good things to do, but when it's time to do the action, I fall short. So yeah, I think that we have to put one and one together and like get the mindset of doing the good, and then yeah, actually going through with it, which falls with the previous statement that to help others. And so this reflects in Jesus' teachings. By their fruits you shall know them, from Matthew 7:16. So that the spiritual advancement is demonstrated through practical outcomes, the virtue and good works manifested in our lives. So knowledge without practice is sterile. True spiritual growth requires that teachings be internalized and manifested in daily conduct. So we get that knowledge that we try to absorb here every Tuesday, or through our books, or through experiences, and we have to internalize that, and make part of our lives, and not only internally, but try to distribute that good behavior or good thoughts with our surroundings. So this means that understanding the principles of immortality, justice, and charity must translate into ethical behavior and social contributions. So he says not only excellent teaching, but also sanctifying practice. So this reinforces the previous point with even greater emphasis. Spiritual teachings must transform the practitioner. So we must do what we preach. That's the idea. So the word sanctifying suggests that proper practice elevates and purifies the soul, aligning it with divine principles. So this constitutes the essence of moral law, which governs both the material and spiritual world. Yes, please.
May I speak on behalf of my friends who have disability? Throughout the ages, we have been marginalized, we have been demonized, we have been criticized as being a drain on society because we don't do anything. And this is yes, it speaks loudly as we are going through this. This is a concept that is for those that are, yes, able to be seen. For many of us, we have been shut away, we have been locked away, we have been euthanized because we are not seen to be contributing spiritually, let alone physically, to the social and economic world that we are living in. It is an extraordinary statement to say that we are not contributing, not able to be active in the community, and thereby denied the recognition that we are valued members of society. This is not to say that others cannot use us as charity works. And this is how we have been seen for millennia. We have been pitied and we have been, yes, objectified. It is an extraordinary moment when others recognize that we are valid and that we hold a presence that has immense value in life on this earth, as well as in the spiritual realm. So it is one thing to say that we need to be active. We need to be doing. When someone like myself, if it wasn't for someone or those in my family who pursued and pursued relentlessly until we found a method of communication. If it wasn't for those and my determination, then I too would be seen as non-contributing, as my extended family see me, as a drain on my family, a stress for society, and a drain on, yes, on social funds. So these kinds of statements are, yes, need to be modified to examine what it is to be contributing to our own spiritual progress and for the progress of humanity. Because we, just by being, allows for great spiritual progress for ourselves as well as for those around us. We are not charity cases. We are not to be objectified, but we are also, these statements are so blanketing. Those that live in war-torn countries are hell-bent on just surviving, let alone doing spiritual or yes, charitable works. Yes, I do sense that there are limitations to the texts that we are reading, and to suggest that not just, yes, as you said before, Louise, if you were just a housewife, the just in itself suggests that it is not enough, because the way society has now shifted to now not valuing the role of just being a homemaker. In the past, everything was valued in and on the home front, because establishing a home that is warm, affectionate, loving, caring, supportive, nurturing, all of those things were once valued. Yes. So it is important to see that not all you see is as it is. Yes. That we are blinded by social, what is the word? Yes. Social opinions of the day. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Yes.
Luis?
Yeah, Colleen, like you make a good point, and that's actually just what I was going to say. The idea that we're now being restricted by what we value as a society, by the expectations set upon us as to what deems to be like appropriate practice
Yes.
or valuable practice. But it need not be that.
No.
It need not be material benefits. It can be the sense of presence, the sense of literally like the sense of love you can contribute, the sense of emotion you can give, the sense of moral, emotional, psychological support, spiritual support you can give instead.
Yes. It is because of these social expectations that have been backed up by these spiritual texts that allow for people to sit in anguish and in that sense of, yes, that their lives are broken or not fulfilled because they have to care for someone like me, because this person is holding them down from doing something important. We can't kill me because that is against the law, but we have to put up with me for the duration that I am here. But my value as a spiritual being is questionable, because what do I understand? Yes. It has, yes, these social norms have been backed up by these spiritual texts that do not include everyone. Yes, it is problematic. Yes. Of course, I know differently, so it doesn't bug me. But for many, they use these texts as a reason to not hold as dearly or as relevant, yes, a life form as my own, as their own. Yes, yes, I would ask for you to comment. Yes, Angela or Alex. Yes, yes.
Do understand where you're coming from, but everyone, I believe everyone has its own journey that we are gathering from our pasts, and in any case, we can use that to our growth, even if it is with small words or even by our actions, not actions, but or even our resilience. We can use that to teach others or to be strong and to use that to our own benefit. I didn't see that in the text that he did that, but yeah, I'm not sure. Angela wants to comment anything?
I understand the concerns that Colleen puts through, but I was looking at this as a general statement. Of course, we know that this life on earth is transitional, and everything that we do is valuable for our spiritual growth. So, for example, in her case, just her patience, her resilience is bringing up her spirituality. Doesn't mean that we need to do something. We need to even what we go through and how we go through is important for our spiritual growth. So yes, it was a very general statement.
Thanks, Angela. I'm going to keep going. So yeah, I believe yes, it is general, and society itself put those people into the back foot, I would say. But I believe everybody has its own journey and experiences, and can either be a teacher or the student in all cases. Wait, where are you? Okay. So not only us, but we equally the others. So perhaps that's the most essential principle. Spiritual development cannot be selfish. The final commandment emphasizes that personal evolution is inseparable from service to others. This aligns with the Spiritist doctrine of solidarity that reunites individuals, both incarnated and discarnate, from previous lives. And the final statement synthesizes the entire chapter. So balance is essential between the material and the spiritual, the external and internal. Everything must be harmonized, harmoniously developed. So the ultimate goal is the spiritual eternity or spiritual growth, and all earthly actions and developments must serve this transcendent purpose. So yeah, the text touched on the immortality of the soul, the reincarnation and spiritual evolution. So the emphasis on correcting inner defects or cultivating virtues and accumulating moral progress that reflect on each incarnation, an opportunity for development, learning, and growth. So the divine justice, the laws of cause and effect. So each soul builds its destiny through its own actions and choices. There are no random punishments or unfair disadvantages. Everything is like it's the consequence of our sowing. So we're harvesting our deeds or actions, and always proportionate and just. So charity and universal fraternity. So charity is the central tenet of Spiritism, with its three core laws: the immortality of the soul, justice, and charity. And that's me, people. Any comments? Yeah, the text was very narrow and focused on the transition between, or the difference between the physical and the moral, and that we have to use both to our enlightenment and our moral advancement. So yeah, that was my take on it. Everybody, anyone has any final comments on it? No? All right. I'll do the final prayer then. So if you guys can relax on your chairs, take a deep breath in and let it go. Beloved Father, source of life and love, in gratitude we gather our thoughts at the close of this reflection. We thank you for the light of Jesus, who reminded us that the human being does not live by bread alone, but by every word of truth, wisdom, and love that springs from your heart. May these teachings remain alive in our minds and hearts, inspiring us to seek not only material comfort, but above all, the nourishment for the soul. Help us, Lord, not only to care for the body, but also to cultivate inner virtues, not only to seek knowledge, but also to live in charity, not only to admire the beauty of appearances, but to build the beauty of feelings and thoughts. May the lessons of Spiritism encourage us to recognize that we are immortal spirits, travelers on the path to evolution, responsible for what we think, feel, and do. Enlighten us so that in every circumstance, we choose the good, transform our imperfections, and make your life a living testimony of your laws of love, justice, and mercy. Teach us to remember each day that true progress is not only in what we have, but in what we are becoming. That true greatness is not only in titles and achievements, but in service, humility, and fraternity. The true happiness is not only what we receive, but mainly what we are able to give. May the spirits who guide and support us strengthen our courage and our faith, so that we live here more committed to living the gospel of Jesus in the light of Spiritism, turning doctrine into action, study into renewal, and prayer into work for good. Father of infinite goodness, bless our homes, our families, and all those who suffer in body and soul. May we be instruments of peace, consolation, and hope wherever we go. And as we finish this meeting, we do not end our learning, not our efforts to improve ourselves. Help us to walk from now on, remembering not only us, Lord, but also our brothers and sisters in humanity, incarnate and discarnate, with whom we share the path towards the spiritual perfection. So be it. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.
Thank you, Angela.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you, Louise.
Thank you.
And
See
I
you
think we have one, and I think only one more, and then that's it for this year.
Yeah.
And then we reconvene. I don't remember if we agreed on a date yet that we're going to go back. Probably by the end of January, but yeah, we'll have to have a chat about it. But we'll keep you guys posted. And yeah, so we'll see you guys next Tuesday. I think it is you, Colleen, or is it Di? Yeah. All right, no problems. So I'll see you all Tuesday. Hope you have a great week. Good luck, Luis.
Thank you.
See you
Thank you.
guys. Have a good night.
Thank
Be
you.
safe.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.